So what's up, y'all? So today we're in the garage. We get ready to install our Brock's clutch mod. Because when you have a brand new ZX14, you have any bike, you need to modify the clutch for drag racing, all right? And with most of the new bikes, they have slipper clutches for road racing. ZX14 not being immune to that, they've installed a slipper clutch like someone's going to road race a big ass ZX14. But it's called a back torque limiter clutch. We're going to get rid of that, matter of fact. So we're going with the Brock's clutch mod right here, and let's get busy. I'll show you what we got to do. Now, let me get the socket that I need. So just so you know, when you get to this part here to put in the clutch mod, you want to get rid of these fingers. That's what you're trying to get rid of, all right? This is a 27 millimeter, all right? Just like the sprocket, the front sprocket on the ZX fact. Generally, you would have to hold this basket in place, but if you put the bike in gear, that's a trick to doing it too. Put the bike in gear and then that won't spin. All you literally have to do is take these fingers off, take these off. You can trash them as far as I'm concerned. And then you put the Brock spacer on with the name facing you. So remember, when you put the mod in there, make sure his Brock's is facing you, all right? Seat it there. Put your nut in there like you're like that. Make sure that it's seated properly around the nut, around the shoulder of the nut. And you're going to have to in there, and then now you put that back in. That's your plunger for your hydraulic clutch, and then you put the needle bearing. Make sure you put the needle bearing on the outside of that, and then also there is a flat washer that goes on top of the needle bearing. Make sure that's there, and now you put your inner hub, put that back on, all right, your inner hub cover. Now, there are teeth here that match with the inside of the basket. So that way you know how to put it back on so that it'll go back on right. Look at the teeth, line them up with the basket. Let me see where the big one is. That one is there. Yep. So it should be like that. Got it right. You'll know when it's right because it'll just slide in. Go. Now, one thing I want to show you is this is what comes, this is the stock springs that came out of it, okay? The only thing you will be using from the stock setup are the bolts. That's it, just the bolts. The rest of the stuff you won't be using, not for drag racing you won't. Now, with the Brock setup, now you have your springs, your spacers, and your collars, all right? And that will go in that order, and you'll generally put this in like that. But these springs, if you notice, these springs are narrower than the factory springs. Can you see that? They're smaller. That's why Brock has these spacers here, these shims, so that they don't slide inside the hole, because they will cock and go inside that hole and you'll be in trouble. Your clutch will be slipping, you'll burn up a clutch, whatever. All right. Get that on there. We'll put our spacers on there, or shims on each one. And do me a favor, don't do what I'm doing because you should have a rag in here so that you don't drop anything. If you drop one of these shims and it slides down in the motor, you got problems. You got to drop the oil pan and everything. So don't do as I do. I'm an idiot. I just been doing it a long time. I feel like shit can't happen to me, even though it has. Even though it has. That's the dumbness. Alright. And don't do this either. You're supposed to start it with your hand. Alright, so again, like I said, don't do as I do, because I do dumb shit a lot. You're supposed to, when you're putting these on, you're supposed to start these by hand. I never do. I feel like I have the touch for it, but that's not true. I've fucked up before, so you would think I would learn from my mistakes, right? And make sure, because one of the reasons why you don't want to do this is because you want to make sure you have the right torque on these springs, and not over torque it to strip the hole. But I pretty much know the torque that's on this gun, so again, I'll go over it by hand after I'm done. All right, so that's that. Take and check these by hand. All right, so anyway, that's done. All you got to do is put your clutch cover back on, and that's it. You've installed your Brock's clutch mod. You've checked your clutches. Oh, real quickly, I showed you this in a video in the past, but I'm going to show you again. The way you know that your clutches are good or not good is where they sit right here. If the end of that hat sits even with that, your clutches are good. If they sit in, that means you need clutches. So always look at that. Just take cap off, look down in there. If you can see the shoulder of that and it's flush with your fingers, you are good. So there you go. You got it. It's all done. You just saved yourself some money and installed your own clutch mod. That way you don't waste money. You can do it yourself in your own garage if you're mechanically inclined at all. So anyway, thank y'all for watching, and click the like and subscribe bell. All right, subscribe, subscribe. I'm trying to grow the followers. Anyway, thank y'all for hanging out with me today.